Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your own Gorilla Tag player model in Blender and then putting it into Unity for your game. So first, what I like to start with is I like to go to the Y view here, and you want to make sure that you have everything in here deleted. And you want to add a cube, not a UV sphere, because a sphere is a bit too round for what we're going to want, so you don't want to add a sphere. You want to instead add a cube, and you want to go to here, go to modifiers, and add subdivision surface. Now I'd like to set it to 2 or 3, but 3 I think has a bit too much space, like it has too many faces, so I like to have it as 2. Make sure you apply it, or else it will still have the it will still look like a cube when you're trying to go to edit mode. The faces will still be formed like a cube. So instead you want to make sure you apply it so it works correctly. Then you want to Control C and Control V this cube or sphere, I guess you could call it, and you want to move it up here. You want to multiply it again, but well, I mean, you can multiply whichever one you want. You can copy that one, it doesn't really matter. Hide the first cube and then scale this cube or sphere. I don't know what you guys want to call it, it doesn't really matter. And then you want to kind of scale it up on the Z-axis like that, so it looks more like a body. You want to take your head here, this is going to be your head, and you want to shrink it down so it looks better on the body, because as you guys saw before, is a bit too big. And for this, you need to go into edit mode, and you want to go to face selection. You want to select the bottom faces of your monkey like that, these 16 faces it should be. And what you want to do is you want to select this tool right here. You want to select the move tool or scale tool, I guess. You can do this. I like to do that first and then move it in. It looks a lot better when you do it this way. And by the way, I'm not actually going to be using this model, it's just for demonstration. And then when you go back, it looks a lot better there. And if you want, you can select this, scale it a bit down on the Z-axis so it looks a bit more like a normal player model, like that. But you don't have to do that, I'm just going to do that for this tutorial. Then you want to show this circle, or, well, it's not really a circle, it's more of a sphere, and you want to just scale it down using this white circle, because that will scale it down on all axes, or axis, or whatever it's called when you're scaling it down on multiple axes. And then you want to scale it out by the X to make it look more like an arm. Maybe you can scale it out some more, or you can make it skinnier like that, but then that would probably look bad from this angle. Then you want to kind of move it down like this, and move it outwards, so you have your arm there. Now this is optional, completely optional. You can go back here, select these 4 faces, and do the exact same thing that you did before. You want to scale them in, and then you want to move them inwards, kind of like that. So now you have more of a normal arm shape, but if you want, I still think that it looks kind of weird on the point. You can select this vertices selection, and you can scale it. Well, not scale, but don't scale it. Just move it in. You can select these 9 if you want. It doesn't really matter. You can just select them and move them in more. But that might look a bit bad for some of you, so if you want, you can just keep it like that. But now that also kind of looks weird, so I'm just going to put it like that. So that's how I like to do the first part of my arm. Now, you might want to go into Z view. You want to copy it and paste it. And then you want to rotate it 180 degrees. And move it out over here next to this part of the arm. And also, like I said again, optional, but you can scale it in like that, so it looks more like an inner arm, because that's literally what it is, an inner arm. Now you want to select both of these, and you want to copy and paste them again. Okay, I did that wrong, hold on. You want to select these two, copy paste, and then you want to do the exact same thing they did again. Rotate them on the y-axis 180 degrees. You can go down here, see if it actually worked. These ones should be a negative 180 if you're doing this correctly, and you can just slide them over here, and then it should have both of its arms looking pretty good. And make sure that you make them like as symmetrical as possible so it works better in game. So if you want, you can like move them in maybe a bit, or move them out a bit, whatever works for your game, do that. And next, what you might want to do is you look over here. Your player model might be like really fat, and you might not want your player model to be fat. So you want to go to edit mode here, select these faces. Well, you want to go into face selection, and you want to select all these faces, because I didn't do that. I was still in vertice selection. I would recommend going into X view, and then scaling them in, once again on the white part, because that's how you make it smaller, and then put it in maybe a bit. If you want, you can also extrude it maybe a bit, and then scale it in. If you want to do that, you can. Completely optional though. Sometimes I like to do that with my player models, although it does look kind of weird. Yeah, that was a joke, guys. Don't do that. Okay, it wasn't a joke. I was just trying to explain something, but it clearly did not work. Anyways, if you want, you can also just kind of go back in object mode and scale it in on the Y, but not that much. You can scale it in maybe a bit if you want, have to, but for now I don't think it will look good if I scale it in. So right now, if you want, you can have your player model fat. It doesn't really matter. Then if you want, you can hide all these. You don't have to. I just like to do this for my player models. You want to add a cube. You want to go into Z view. You want to select edit mode, and make sure you're on face selection. And some people like to do it on both faces, but for me personally, it works if I just select one of the faces, because then it will work better when I'm trying to select multiple faces. Press E on your keyboard, and maybe hold on to Control to make it more precise, and then do that twice, so you have a 1x3 grid there. And then you want to select these three faces, and normally if I were to do it on both sides, it would not work correctly. But that's just an issue that I have. If you guys don't have that issue, then you can do it like a normal way, where you select these two faces right here. But in my personal experience, that does not work. Also, you can hold down Shift if you want when you're extruding them, but it does make it a little bit harder. That's why personally I like to hold down Control. And once you're done with that, you should have your second, you should have a 2x3 grid now, like this. But that's not all you want to do for this part, because you want to select these three faces again, go back into not negative Z view, but Z view, and do that just one more time. Then you want to unselect the middle face, go back into Z view, and extrude these out 3 times like this. Extrude it once, extrude it twice, and extrude it 3 times for your fingers. Then select this face right here, extrude it out, not like that, don't do that much, not that much. Extrude it out like this. Then you want to go to rotation, rotate it a bit, do that again, and rotate it a bit again. Then you can have your thumb like this. If you want, you can select this face and scale it in. Now we have the basic shape of our hand. Now what you want to do is you want to go back into object mode, select it, and press search subdivision surface. So now we have it looking more like an actual hand. Now you want to go back into edit mode. Oh yeah, make sure you don't apply right now, because you apply, it will work a bit weird when you're trying to make it, when you're trying to like do this next part, it might not work. So you want to select this finger, all the faces that are on this finger right here. Oh yeah, and make sure you also select these faces, or else if you try to move it, it will look really weird. So you want to select these faces, make sure you select this face, and then these bottom 3 faces right here. Then once you're done with that, you want to just move it in maybe a bit like this, so it looks a lot better. Then you want to select these 3 faces right here. You can select this face and select these 3 faces right here. Don't select that face though, and then just scale them in or out depending on what you want. Maybe if you want to scale it out so you can have like more of a gap right there, or you can scale it in if you want to. Whatever works for you guys, do that. Then this one you want to scale in a lot like this, so it looks like the hands are more naturally formed. And then you could, like I said, scale these in because it does look a bit weird now from there. But if you're looking at the faces, if you're looking at the faces like that, it looks a bit weird. But if you're looking at it, it doesn't really look that weird. But me personally, most of the time, don't scale in like that. Scale it in on the X. Me personally, I like to do it around here. That's where I like to put it. And then what you want to do is you want to go back to Y view. You want to select this face and do these one at a time and scale them in a bit like that. You can hold down control so it maybe is a little bit more precise when you're scaling it in. And if you want, you can do the same thing on the thumb. You can select this and scale it in. And now we have another, like I said before, a basic shape of the hands. The thumb does look a bit weird, but I don't feel like changing it, so yeah, there you go. You got your hand, but you do want 2 hands because in-game gorillas have 2 hands. So you want to copy this cube. You want to rotate it on the Y. Once again, 180 degrees. If you go down here, you can just type in 180, and it should work. And you can just drag it over here. Next, what you want to do is you want to go back into edit mode. Make sure though when you go back into edit mode you have both of the hands selected. Press edit, select these 3 faces and these 3 faces. Select the tiny face on both of them. Not that face, no. Okay, I'm just gonna go over here, so no. I'm just gonna, no. I don't have edge selection on. Why? What? No. Oh, no. That's. I'm not freaking gonna do this kind of. Hold on. Okay, then when you got all those faces selected, you want to go into negative Z view. You don't have to do this, but I like to do select these faces, and then you want to go into X view. Press the move tool and move it up a bit like that. And now your hands kind of go a bit up. Oh wait, I forgot. Yeah, you also want to select these back faces too. I forgot to tell you guys that. I'm sorry, that is my fault. You're gonna do that and just kind of move it up. Or, okay, I'm kind of forgetting how I do my own player models, which is really sad. You're not supposed to select the back face. You select these faces if you want to make it more of a curve. But obviously, once again, that is optional. You don't have to make it do that. Some games don't actually have that on their hands. I just like to do this because it does look a bit better. Then we got these faces right here selected, and you can just move them up like this. Now we got some pretty good hands, but like I said, that is optional. For this tutorial, I'm just not going to do that. But if you want, you can do that to make your hands look a bit better. Then make sure you have both of these selected. Go back down here to subdivision surface and apply it. Then unhide everything and your hands will be a bit big. So what you want to do so the hands stay the same size is you want to select them both. Go here, select the white circle thing, and you want to scale them down so they look better. Then you want to rotate them to make them actually appear how they're supposed to when you're rigging it. This is how I personally like to rig mine. having the hands like this. So, you know, just kind of make it like this. If you want, you can go here. You can select this, put this to 0, maybe. Hold on, 45? No, not 45. Just put this at 0. Put this at -90. And put this at -90. There you go. So that's this hand. This is going to be the left hand. So we're just going to move this up. And we're going to put it over here, like this. And if you want, you can also move it back a bit, like that. So now it looks quite well on the hand. Well, on the arm, I guess. If you want, I forgot to mention this, you can select this face right here, select both the hands. Or maybe not because they're not aligned, but you can select this face, move it out. Well, no, extrude it out, and then just scale it in so it rigs easier. Then you can go back to object mode, select this hand, go back to edit mode, and this one, yeah, this one didn't get the treatment that this hand did, so it will probably be very weird. So yeah, don't apply the subdivision surface until after you do this. I'm not very good with tutorials, if you could not tell. I don't actually really make tutorials that often, if ever, I guess. So yeah, sorry for the inconvenience, guys. You don't have to do this though. Like I said a million times in this tutorial, basically everything outside of the basic general shape is completely optional. But I still would recommend to select these faces and extrude them out so it does work better when you're rigging. So just select these, extrude. If it has the subdivision surface applied, that is fine. You're just going to have to do this and it will look a bit weird. Then you want to extrude it here, scale it in maybe a bit. Well, actually do scale it in. This, go back into object mode, select this hand, move it back over like this. But yes, adding that does make it a bit easier to rig because your hand won't be separated. And in this tutorial, I know I'm not that good at making tutorials, if it wasn't obvious by now. I know I'm not really good at making tutorials, but in this tutorial, I want to cover things that a lot of other tutorials forget about when they're making their tutorials. So yeah, I'm just going to explain everything that you might want to know in this tutorial. So once again, for the other hand, you want it to be 90, -90, and 0. Then you want to just move the hand over here. Want to move it up maybe a bit. Well, actually, you do want to move it up. That really just depends on where it is. And then you want to just kind of move it. This one has a bit, it's very weird for where I put them up. Hold on, guys, we will be right back. I just gotta do something. It will be absolutely no time for you guys, but I gotta do something, so. Alright, folks, we're back. And even though that was absolutely no time for you guys, it did take me a little while to do what I was doing, so sorry for the inconvenience that affected absolutely none of you. Anyways, now we are back to our player model. We have all these faces here. You see, we got all these little parts and stuff. Before you do anything, you want to go back to all of these circles and make sure that they have the subdivision surface applied. So you want to go here. No, you don't want to duplicate it. When you go back here, you want to apply the subdivision surface. You want to go to these arm pieces because they don't have subdivision surfaces. You want to go here. You want to apply the subdivision surface, and then don't do anything with it. You want to go to the body. You want to select subdivision surface. Well, actually, you probably don't because you want to do the textures first. So don't do that for the hands, or don't do that for the head or the body because it might be a bit difficult when you're trying to do the little textures. Now, something that I like to do before we apply the textures is I like to take this piece. We want to duplicate the head. You see, we want to scale it down like this. We want to scale in like this, and then we're just gonna move it out, and then we have a little ear, folks. So this is what we're gonna be doing next. We're gonna add the ears to our player model, but once again, I will say it is optional if you want to add ears. Some of my player models before did not have ears, and I'm just gonna say right now I am adding ears to my player models, even though I'm probably gonna have one game after this one releases that I'm working on right now. This is the game, by the way. I'm gonna make a video about it soon. Just wanted to show a bit of it. Now I know it's not much, but you know, that's all I can really show right now. Anyways, make sure they're completely aligned correctly, so the same amount for each of them is showing. Then you want to select all these faces. Make sure the body is a bit yellow, and you want to press Control J to make them all move around the body. And now what you want to do, we're going to add the textures. So you want to go to edit mode, select all these faces, press add, well, not add modifier, go to the little materials tab down here, press add, make sure you're right here, which is the material view, so you can see what it looks like when you're adding your materials. You want to go to image texture, it should become all black. That is fine, that's how it's supposed to work. And look up your fur texture. So we're going to go to a blank tab. If you want, you can go to ambient, I'm very slow typing, cg.com, ambientcg.com. That doesn't exist, never mind, I searched it up wrong. ambientcg.com. You can go here, go to materials, search up fur. I didn't even search it up. Search up fur, and then you can find, okay, never mind, you can't find fur textures on ambientcg.com, so you would want to just look up like white fur or something, or whatever color you want your fur to be. It really does not matter. So white fur, go to images, and you can just find your fur texture that you like. Then I like to search up gray fur, like this, and you might find some gray fur textures. That's what I like to do anyways. And if you want, you can go to photopea.com. You can press new project. You can go to, I guess, YouTube profile or Instagram will work. Whichever one you want to do will be completely fine. And then you want to go to the paint bucket tool, which is where the gradient tool is. You're gonna press that. You want to select this. Make sure it's kind of grayish, or maybe a bit of a lighter gray. If you want, you can just look up a monkey face, and you want to just make this completely black. Well, gray, because that's what it is. And then you want to press black. You want to go to the paintbrush tool, and you can just kind of make a face here. You can make a face. You can add some eyes, maybe. Whatever you want to do, you can do that and make a player model face. It's not an actual player model, it's just a face. If you want, you can do that. It doesn't really matter what you do, though. I don't care. Nobody really cares, honestly. Big Scary used a monkey face. My game is using a monkey face because I don't feel like making my own face in Photopea. But for the sake of this tutorial, I will. And it probably is going to look really stupid. And it does look really stupid. No, not that. We're gonna give him some nice eyebrows. Those are not nice eyebrows. We're gonna give him some teeth, I guess, because it's already looking really stupid. And you know what? Why not just make it look even more stupid? Then I'm gonna switch these around. We're gonna use the white now, and we're just going to go back to the bucket tool, fill this. Hold on, wait, I'm gonna go back, fill, not that, never mind, hold on, I gotta go back here. Make sure that these are completely blocked off, there's no gaps between that and the actual face, or else it will not work. Like that. And never mind, not that. Then do that. So now you got your eyes. If you want, this is, you don't have to do this, but it's just kind of funny. You can give them a slit in their eyebrows. So like, dude, I'm just gonna give this guy a slit in his eyebrow because why not? And I'm gonna go back to white and give him some nice old white chompers. And now he has his white chompers. And now this absolute abomination of a face will be put onto my player model. So we're gonna save that. You can go back to Blender, or if you want, like I said, just like search up like monkey face. So you can just go here, search up monkey face. Then you can just like search up one of these ones. Whatever one you want to use will work in your game. It does not matter. Then you want to go back here, exit out of that because it will probably not work if you made it and you were already there. Then you want to search up whatever the name was of your thing, new project, for me because I don't ever name my things. New project -2024. They have a new layout. What the heck? That's just me talking to myself, I guess. Alright. I forgot that is my face texture. I don't want that all over my body. Monk. Wait, no, that's documents. Don't go to documents because it will take you to documents. Go to downloads because that's probably where they're going to be. And then for me, this is my fur texture. I'm going to select all. If you want to have it more of a Gorilla Tag look, you can select closest. And in some of these areas, it looks really stretched. So you want to go to UV editing. You want to press A. And also, move this out a bit so you can see this and select material selection. And then you can just move this back out a bit. And then you can see your fur. Then you want to go back over here, press unwrap, and you'll see it looks a bit better, but we want to make it even better. So we're going to go to unwrap, which is in the UV tab. So you go to unwrap and then smart UV project. Don't change any of these, just press OK. And now we have all of these models here. It will show everything really. And then you see it's kind of pixelated because that's more of a Gorilla Tag look. And if you want, you can just scale it up so it will look a lot better. And now we have a really good fur texture on our monkey. So now we're just going to go back to layout. And yep, as you can see, we have a really good monkey fur texture. Not sculpt mode, you want to go back to edit mode. You want to select these faces here. And then what I like to do is I like to select these faces on the ears. That way we can also change the color of these. I like to go here though so you don't actually mess it up, but if you do, you can just press Ctrl Z. Select these faces. You want to press the little plus up here, and you want to, sorry about that, that was a notification. Try to guess what that was in the comments. Press assign, and then press new. Go back here, go to image texture, and then you want to find your gray fur texture. So, for me, I think it's either gray fur. No, it's deposit photos for me. Never mind. And then you gotta, if you want, you can do the same thing. Press linear, go to closest, so it has more of a Gorilla Tag look. And for me, that looks fine the way it is. Usually they're not really messed up that much. Then, before we make the face texture, select these faces here. Go back into negative X view or just X view, but I like to do negative X view even though it does not matter. Then you want to press the scale button. You're going to need this. Extrude it out maybe a bit, and then you don't have to extrude it. You can just move it out, but me personally, I like to extrude it out. If you want, if it looks like it's going down a bit too much, you can just kind of do that, but that might look a bit bad. And then you want to just kind of scale it in like this. And now it looks really stupid. So I'm not sure what I messed up, but you know what? Doesn't matter. We're just gonna go back here. We're just gonna extrude it out a bit. Don't extrude it out a bunch. And now you got kind of like a mouth, maybe, if it actually worked for me. But for you guys, it should work. I'm just a little funky when I'm doing this, so it doesn't always work. There's the inside of my arm, by the way. I assure you that nobody cared. But I'm just talking to myself at this point. I don't really care. Nah, I'm just kind of making this tutorial because I can and I want to. And also, if you want, you can select these faces because it might look a bit stretched. Go back to UV editing, and yeah, they are really far off. So press unwrap, and then go to unwrap, Smart UV project, boom. Then just maybe scale them out a bit if you want, or you don't have to. It doesn't really matter. And then it looks normal again, so it's not stretched out and anything. So yeah. And now go back to edit mode, select these faces up here, as well as these ones right here, and then select your little mouth faces, and then it should look something like this. Press plus, assign new, go back to here, press image texture, and then find your face. For me, that is new project dash 2024. And then it might look really weird. Again, go back to UV editing, press unwrap, and then you go back here, press unwrap, Smart UV project. But you might not want to do that because it will just make it worse. So if it makes it worse, then just press Ctrl Z to change it back. Then you want to select all your faces, move them to where you want them to be, and if you need to scale them up, you can, like this. And now my entire face is covered in this, but it also might repeat if you make it go out too much. So you might just want to do something like this. I'm gonna move mine up because I want the teeth and the eyebrows to be there. And now, once again, my very stupid face is on the player model, which is why I like to, personally, I like to find a face, because whenever I make a face, it just looks really stupid. And now you want to add the armature, so you want to go here, press armature, you want to go to the little running man, you want to press viewport display, and press in front, so you can see it in the front there. You want to go to edit mode, you want to select this part right here, and you want to press G to move it. Then you want to press G and S, or whatever you want to do. You might want to select this, press G, scale it up like this, and make sure it's like straight. If you want, you can press Z, maybe that'll help, but I like to press Z, makes it work better. Move it right here, or if you want, I'm gonna move mine, don't extrude it, press G there. I'm gonna move mine to about right here because I don't want it to be too high up the arm. You want to do it right here, that's gonna be your shoulder, and then extrude it out again and stop it there. You might want to move over here. You're gonna want to zoom in for the hand, and then you want to, don't scale it, select this and press E, extrude it to there. Then you want to extrude it again out to here, make it go back, and then 1 there, 2 and 3. Then you want to go up, 1, 2 and 3. Then you want to down, 1, 2 and 3. And then you got your first side of your body rigged. Then you want to select this. You want to do the exact same thing, just on the left side. So you want to extrude it, and extrude it again, and extrude it one more time to get it over to the hand. If you want to, you can press backspace or Control Z if it doesn't look right. Extrude it out to there. Extrude it again to right here. Make it go back, up, 1, 2, and 3. Make it go this way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, Hold on, guys. Once again, I'll be right back, even though it's going to be no time for you guys. Alright. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to minimize OBS. No, not that. Oh, guys. Sorry about that. I'm going to minimize it now. This is not important to you guys. We're going to move it down here, over here. 1, 2, and 3. And now, we got the 2 arms completely rigged. But that's not it. You want to move this up here to the neck, and you want to move it up here to the head. Then you want to go to Z view. That's my Oculus, if you guys heard that. I don't know, I'm just kind of saying stuff. Then right here, you want to select these 2 faces. You want to just extrude them out up to about right here. Then you want to do the same thing but for these 2 joints, and you just want to extrude them to here. Then on all of these, you want to press this, and you want to what you want to do is you want to press Alt P, clear parent. Do that for all of these, by the way. So you can, if you want, you can just select like all of them. Do this. Not that though, not that one. We're not doing that one. Just select all of them. Okay, don't do that then. Don't. Okay, press one of them. Hold down Control. Never mind, that doesn't work. So you do have to do these one at a time. Sorry guys, I'm just using a different version of Blender, so I'm not really used to this. And then clear all these. You want to select this one. You want to press. M. Well, no, not M. I'm sorry. You want to press G. You want to select both of these ones right here. You want to select this one and this one. Press G, Z, and wait, no, not Z. I'm gonna move them out maybe a bit like this, and then select these 2 right here, and then you want to press G and just move them a bit out like this. And now it is fully rigged. Now we're gonna name some of these. We're gonna name this the base. So if you want to name them, you want to do Alt. Well, no, not Alt. You want to press FN and F2, and then name this the base. You want to come up here. You want to press FN F2 again. Press the and type in neck. Then right here, you want to press FN F2 again. This is the right arm, even though, well, no, this is the left arm, even though it looks like the right arm, sorry. And do left shoulder or L shoulder, it does not matter. Then you want to go here and do the exact same thing again, just you want to name this the left forearm. Then you want to go here, you want to press FN F2 again, and then do L wrist joint or left wrist joint. Then you want to do the exact same thing on the right side, so you want to select this and then name this, but make sure that this part right here is not selected, or maybe it has to be, I'm not sure. But yeah, just go here, name this, go to FN F2, make sure you name this R shoulder or right shoulder. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing, but just right forearm. That's not how you spell it, so it doesn't really matter how you spell it. It just makes it a lot easier when you're doing it in Unity. Then you wanna go here and then R wrist joint like this. And then up here, you don't have to though, you can name this the head. And then go back into Z view, name this the R pole, and then go here, name this the L pole, and then name this R wrist pole. That's why I just name it. It doesn't really matter what you name it. R wrist pole. And then same thing over here, just name this the L wrist pull. And now you have everything fully named. So you want to go back into object mode or press tab. You want to select your mesh and click on the armature, or you can just go up here. I like to do this, it's a bit easier. And then you want to press Control P and then click with automatic weights, and now the cube is under the armature. Now you can go into pose mode, select this here, and you can just move this around and you will see you have a fully working arm. You can do the same with the other arm, and it even works with both the fingers. Well, it works with all the fingers too. So you can move the finger like that. You can move fingers. I like to do it on the middle one though. The middle one kind of works. I don't know, but you can move the fingers. And that is how you make a player model for your Gorilla Tag fan game. I'm just going to export this in downloads. Make sure it's in downloads as Tutorial Monkey. And that is how you make a player model for your Gorilla Tag fan game. And a quick brief explanation: if you already have Photon VR, you want to get that, watch a tutorial for that. Go to resources, Photon VR, and player. This is for when you drag it into Unity. Then don't mind that mine is black, it's for something else. And you want to just kind of drag it over where these are. You want to make sure that these are hidden, the VR head, VR body, and the two VR hands. Go to L hand, make sure it has Fast aka fabric like this, but it should be left forearm for that, and the same for right forearm. Just copy this down and that should work. So like I said, that is how you make your Gorilla Tag player model for your Gorilla Tag fan game. See you guys in the next video, and I hope this was helpful.